Well, good morning from Phoenix, Arizona, United States of America. It's so nice to see you, and welcome to the Voiceover Huddle. Today, we're going to talk about being better than AI. What does that mean? Well, hopefully, we can unravel it a little bit. My name is Mike Hathcote, and I'm a full time voice actor and voiceover coach. I am author of the book, The Voiceover Blueprint, which is a great beginner's guide to getting into voiceover. I always say it's the book that I wish I had had when I started. You can get that for less than $10 in the description below. You can get a digital download and the audiobook plus 4 free bonus gifts with that for less than $10. So check that out. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to get this content quickly. And always don't forget to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll do some shout outs in a minute. And of course, if you want to learn more about the VoiceOver Blueprint, which is our main training program that covers all aspects of voiceover and how to become a full-time voice actor, there's also information in the description on that as well. It is, I like to say it's a PhD level class. I mean, it literally covers everything there is to know about being a voice actor. So check that out too if you're so inclined. Okay, let's talk about AI. For better or worse, AI is here, right? It's not going away anytime soon. Um, we've seen some wins in the battle against the robot overlords. YouTube and Facebook, have recently decided to demonetize and devalue AI content, which is once again, it's a small win for us as the humans. But how do we, as human voice actors, how do we compete in the AI space? Um, well, you do it by being better than AI. And you may be asking yourself, well, how do we do that? How are we better? How can we be better than AI? And it can be tricky. Um, the first thing that I'll say is the one of the main reasons why people use AI is because it's fast. They just put their script in and it just spits out the audio and that's pretty fast. Now, we can't be that fast, but we can be very responsive to clients. We can be, um, our turnaround time can be short. Now, obviously, if it's a giant e-learning or whatever, you've got to take your time and finish that. But you can be fast as long as you're being precise. So that leads me to my next thing is don't make mistakes. And I know that's easier said than done. But if you do make a mistake, catch it before you send it to the client. Because one of the things that people do use AI for is because the mistakes are minimal most of the time. They can make mistakes too, but if you happen to make a mistake, um, double and triple check if you have to your work before you send it to the client. And of course, if there's still something that you've missed that they're not, happy with, get that mistake fixed and back to the client ASAP. What I do is if I send off a client, or I'm sorry, if I send off a job, a finished product to a client, and I've moved on to the next job or even the next job after that, and I get something back from the original client saying, "Hey, either they made a mistake or I made a mistake or something in the copy was wrong or they want something different." I drop everything I'm currently working on and go right back to that first one. Basically, they get to skip the line. That original client skips the line and they get handled immediately because they were first, right? Even though I've moved on to this next one or the next one after that, they were first. And so everything else gets pushed aside. They get the attention and get the fix and get it back to them. Then you can move back into wherever you were. So prioritize the whole customer service aspect of this because that is the way we're going to win this. Now, the next thing is show your emotion in your reads, in your auditions. Um, It's gonna be a long time before AI can mimic human emotion, and that's been one of the biggest, reasons why AI is starting to lose its, novelty for a lot of people, because you can tell in 5 seconds if something is AI or not. It's because there's no there. There's no human emotion. And so, um, that is the next thing you should do is put your emotion out there and make sure that people know that you're human. Add little things, that separate us from the robots. Um, Now, the only thing you shouldn't do to compete with AI is lower your rates. You may be tempted to, say, well, another reason why people use AI is because it's cheaper. Well, cheaper isn't always better. Remember, you get what you pay for. So do not lower your rates down to, satisfy someone who's trying to nickel and dime you because they can get it on AI for cheaper. Remember the 3 T's that we talked about: knowing your worth, your time, your training, and your talent. Those are the 3 T's that you are worth charging for. Okay, so don't forget that. So remember, we're starting to see the signs of AI fatigue. People are starting to get a little bit bored with it and a little bit, the novelty's wearing off. Okay. So let's stay in the fight, under promise, over deliver. Remember, we talked about that a while back. Um, Delight your customer with customer service and quality. And, like I said, under promising and over delivering. And we might just win the overall war against that giant robot in the sky. So let me know how you are going to be better than AI in the comments. And let's get to them. Hey, Sean, good morning from Longview. And hey, Jason, good morning from, I forgot where you're from, Kearney, Nebraska. Yeah. See, it's starting to get in there. Kearney, Nebraska. He says, good morning to all my voiceover peeps. You are better than AI. Yes, we all know we are. We just have to prove it. And that's what we're talking about today. There's Grady in Ithaca, New York. Looking forward to your teachings tonight. Yes, tonight I'll be teaching for the voiceover or the TV affiliate boot camp. I'm teaching social media marketing. So everybody in the boot camp is going to learn how to pair social media with their email marketing and work in tandem. Celeste says hello from and good day from Newark, Delaware. Hello, Celeste. And there's Edward from Jacksonville, Florida, and Sally from Plano, Texas. Hey, David from Hamilton, Ontario. Good morning to you. And Callie from Pasco, Washington. Hello. Hey, Tim from Altoona. And John from Denver. There's Nancy in Yankton, South Dakota. And Lynette from Sparks, Nevada. Let's all have the best day ever. I agree. Let's do that. Just decide right now to have the best day ever. Thank you, Lynette, for that. And there's JJ. Hey, Tracy from Rochester, Minnesota, and Denise from Long Island. And there's Andrew from Latvia. Hey, Kirk from Greenville, South Carolina. And Terry says, good Tuesday afternoon from Fallston, Maryland. I like the saying robot overlords. Yeah, they are the robot overlords, or at least they're trying to be, but we can fight back. We just need our own Sarah Connor, right? Hopefully some of you got that. Buddy says, recently I find I miss or add a word in my reads of a script after I have to go back and re-record. Any techniques you use to read the copy correctly the first time? Well, I think the main thing, a lot of people, especially when they first start, they read too fast because the adrenaline is running and everything is going, remember the magic mic I talked about, the magic mic it's been probably a couple of months ago, where we talked about how as soon as you hit the record button, something in your brain triggers and says, I'm performing now, so I should, everything tightens up and you get, that adrenaline rush. That's going to cause you to read fast. And if you're going to read fast, you're going to make mistakes. For years and years, I had a a thing right above my monitor up here that said slow down because I needed a constant reminder to slow down when I was reading. And I still find myself reading too fast sometimes. And I have clients who will say, hey, can you slow it down a little bit? Still happens. So just because I'm not brand new at this, it doesn't mean it still doesn't happen. That is the main reason why people make mistakes. So if you can figure out a way to slow down when you're doing your read, you will make less mistakes. You'll save time because that's less editing you're going to have to do. But as far as eliminating all those mistakes, everybody makes them. We're human. So just try to minimize it as best you can. Good question though, buddy. Callie says, really, really great points and strategy, Mike. This may be one of the most important conversations of our time in this industry. And this is some of the best guidance I've heard on the topic. Well, thank you, Callie. That's very nice of you to say. Um, as I said, I believe they're showing some cracks, in the armor or chinks in the armor, I think they call it. But anyway, they're they're showing some signs of that. And so if we just stay vigilant and we continue to delight our customers with good customer service and good quality audio, that's another thing is, one of the things that AI does provide is near perfect audio quality. And if yours is less than, that's another area where you're going to, not measure up. So making sure that you've gotten really good audio quality in your booth is going to help you not only win auditions, but it's also going to help you, separate yourself from the people who don't have good audio, right? That just helps you stand above. Theo says, happy Taco Tuesday from all at the kitchen table in Palos Hills, Illinois. Grab a taco and show AI what you got. Absolutely right. Denise says, the audition I submitted for a client today was because they convinced their client not to use AI. That's a great point. I've had several people, clients who tried AI and decided that it's just not real enough. It's not natural and human enough. And they've come back, they've dipped their toe in the water and said, nope, no thanks. And they've come back. So hopefully more and more people will do that. That's what we can hope. Timothy says, remember, even the voice of Joshua in War Games was a real human voice. His name was John Wood. Interesting. I did not know that. But yeah, that was kind of the first real example of an AI voice, right? Shall we play a game? And it was obviously, there's no question it was computerized. It's gotten a lot better. I'll give it that. It's gotten a lot better in the last, 40 years. But it's still, they stick out like a sore thumb. And companies who want to show their audience that they care and are not just willing to slap any, nickel and dime voiceover on their project, those are the people who are going to stand above. And so those of us who are in this game, we need to participate in that and show them that we are better. Celeste says, better than AI. Yes, because I practice every day and I emote. Absolutely. Andrew says, being authentic and empathetic is what is needed, or when it's needed. Yes. Jason says, I dial in all my acting lessons from college and from my career in stage and in front of the camera. I often get compliments by authors about this, or comments, sorry, about the authors about this. AI will never beat me or you. Rocket fam. Thank you, buddy. That's a good point. A Simple Tailor says, I think AI is fantastic tech if it's used properly. I think we can work with it for certain things without eliminating the human factor. It's a co-pilot, but you still have to fly the plane, I say. Actually, that's well said. Thank you very much for that. I use it. We all use it. If you think about it, a search engine is AI. There's so much out there that is kind of falls under the header of AI. I use Chat GPT, for certain things, finding certain things, and learning how to do a certain thing. So I use it for good, not evil. And so hopefully more and more people are realizing that it's just not where it needs to be regarding voice yet. Joshua says, "Good afternoon. Hope all is having a bright day. I almost missed you. Well, I'm glad you made it." Jason says, "Using springboards like Bill taught, feel your emotions and let it come through. People want to see the ugly side. Be brave enough to be ugly in your performance because that's real." Great lesson, Mike. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, the springboard method is one of the methods that we use to kind of get your head in the right space. And that is basically adding some lines at the beginning of the script or before the script, the actual script starts, that just kinda settle you into your pattern, into your regular speaking voice. Because once again, that magic mic, when you turn that thing on, your brain goes, "Perform." And we don't wanna perform, we wanna be ourselves. And by adding a few, extemporaneous lines at the very beginning that is just you, will trick your brain into thinking you're just having a conversation. And so that's what the springboard method is. John says, "Remember, we are voice actors. AI can speak, but it cannot act." That is true. Very true. Okay. Well, I've got some auditions to do here. My new agent is already starting to shovel me some audition opportunities. So love that. Remember, the more agents you have, as long as they're not in competing markets, the more opportunities you have to win those auditions. And some will actually have auditions that are not unique to them, but strict, they're the only ones who have them. Some other agents, I'll get the same audition from 3 or 4 agents, right? Other agents have exclusive opportunities where they are the only agency that's hiring for it. Some jobs, they put it out to all the agencies, and then, of course, all the agencies filter those down to all the talent, so there's a lot bigger pool to choose from. But other agents have exclusivity on certain jobs, which, by the way, means that there's less competition because it's only that agency that is offering the opportunity. So that's a good one to have. When you have an agent like that, that means you're gonna be up against a lot fewer people for the job. Let's see. Andrew says, "Have a great day." So does Callie. "Have a great day, superstars." And a Simple Taylor says, "By the way, Mike, I made my earlier comment as a VO who almost lost a booking to AI." Oh, I'll bet there's been plenty of times that you and all of us have lost bookings to AI. So don't feel like you're, you know, a one of one in that. We all have at this point. Um, but the idea is to be better than AI and to show your human emotion and let them know that, hey, this is what people want to hear. People don't want to hear these recycled voices that are so commonplace these days. They want individuals, and that's going to be what sells. Okay, I'm going to get to work. I'll see you back here tomorrow on Hump Day edition of the VoiceOver Blueprint. Until then, try to be better than AI, or don't try, do, as Yoda would say. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.